balmy shores of sunny Florida to the cold winds of Chicago and everywhere in between, you're watching the Red Wimet Show, live, coast to coast. Talk of the town, Mr. Red Wimet.
Hello, everybody. Today is the 22nd of December, 2025, and I am Red Wimet. I have an interesting, excuse me, I'm going to slide over a little bit here. There we go. Hope that's better. Let's take a roll call here. Let's see what we got. Okay. We're doing the best we can, but something called cookies for, I was thinking of Chicago. Snap dog, here's Red. Okay, gotcha, guy. Cooking from Vegas. How you doing? Big Tuna. How you doing there, guy? And of course, we have Adam's in the house. With the wrench. And we have Tim Peroni. 75 in Erie, Colorado. You're in Colorado? Okay. Howdy, Red. Merry Christmas, everyone. Cheers to Scott. Hey, Dave, how you doing? John Cooley Jr. Okay. Jim Magnifici. I guess you're still in San Diego, Scott. Merry Christmas. Bill Crawley. Good afternoon. Well, folks. Okay, we have a little going on in the background here. Anyway, today's show is an interesting show, and it's kind of a reactionary thing because in the down in the description, you will find the link for Gary Jenkins' not mob law. Gary Jenkins, Ganland Wire. Adam, I'm thinking of mob law. Anyway, he had a special guest on yesterday, Sunday, and I believed in the strongest part of my mind that this individual was dead. Was some time ago that I listened to a podcast. It wasn't visual. And the man that did the podcast said that he didn't want to do a visual. He was very paranoid about anybody knowing where he lived. And when he saw his living conditions, he was very disappointed because he was living with a roommate who was a Native American Indian. And she was rather on the large and bossy side. And he had one bedroom out of this house. And it was loaded with Pringles, empty Pringles boxes or tubes, because that's what he said he liked. So it was a very interesting podcast and interview. But then again, when I saw his name with Gary Jenkins and Ganland Wire, I said, this has got to be something great, because I don't know. I've always liked Gary. Gary gave me my first interview way back when. Yeah, it was weird. The whole thing was weird. I mean, the description of it was weird. And not only that, the guy that interviewed him, hi, Red, or hi, Allie. Good to see you there, too. Okay. So anyway, the Pringles were weird, very different. But that interview, it was a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. And it was just something funny. Ellie, we love you. So at any rate, I tuned in to watch it. Now, I've watched a lot of Gary's shows. I'm a fan of Gary Jenkins. And as you know, a week ago, he dropped a show with the one and only Gianni Russo. And I guess I had a little bit of fun watching it. I don't get too serious about these things. And good question, Scott. Did I ever have any contact with Cooley? No, I didn't. But there's people that he talked about in his interview with Gary Jenkins that I did have contact with him. And they used to talk about him because, according to other people, he was a character, a very difficult person to handle. How old am I? I'm 76 years old. I was born in 1949. Does that help you? So, and what you call it? Cooley, Bob Cooley Jr. is, I think he was born in 43. So he's about 5 years older than I am. And thank you. I am very young. But I got to say this, guy. I'm closer to the tomb than I am to the womb. 76 is the new 53. I got it. We'll play the numbers game. So anyway, getting back to the broadcast, and you can listen to the broadcast. Like I said, the link for it is down below here. And it was the first one I noticed. The first thing I noticed, mind you, I'm a suspicious character, but the first thing that I noticed was that it was a 2-hour interview. It's very rare that Gary does a 2-hour interview. Didn't notice that it said part 1. Later on in the interview, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I heard him say, this is only part 1. There will be a part 2 and a part 3. And as I was saying that, I was saying, wow, this is going to be great. There's just 1 or 2 problems. Scott, you picked up on it too. Okay, Scott, you're sharp. Gary asked Cooley if he knew you, but he looked confused with you and another Red. He knew of me. He didn't know me. He never met me. I never met him. I knew a lot about him. He was a very difficult person to handle, so the FBI agents told me. But he mentioned different people that he worked with that I knew. And he kept mentioning Tom. Tom was an agent. And I worked with Tom for many years, going all the way back to when he was with IRS CID. And Tom had switched over to the Justice Department. It was better for him, better job. But he talked about him quite a bit. And Tom this and Tom that and Tom this. No last names. Gary did a great job in coaching him on different things. But he seemed to be, now this is just my opinion, he seemed to be caught up in his own little world that he lived in at one time. Everything was about Marco D'Amico. Everything was about Pat Marcy. Everything was about Johnny DeFranzio. And I noticed something about him. I'm being critical here. I noticed something about him that was very different than any other person I've ever seen interviewed. He was a name dropper, and he told on himself because he was a heavy gambler. Now, one thing I didn't know that I found out from the interview was that he worked in the 18th district, which was a hot district, very hot. I did business in the 18th district. My porn shop was in the 18th district. My tavern was in the 18th district. And the guys that were in 18, if you didn't get along, you got out. That was it. It was like a family there. They had to deal with high-end people, low-end people. They had to deal with a lot of things. But as he was going along, he talked about Jerry Scarpelli. And he came up several times, and he said, he called him Jerry. And Jerry was a good friend of mine, he said. So it was one of those things when he just talked about it. So anyway, long and short, I looked at it, and what I saw was not comfortable. I saw him making terrible mistakes. And he talks about different deaths, attempted murders. When he talked about Hal Smith and how he had a grin on his face. He just had a grin on his face and said, I lost money to him. And the guy told me, you better have my money. You better have my money. And somebody else came to me and told me, don't pay him. We're going to go over and take a piece of him. Well, they didn't take a piece of him because he didn't want to cooperate. So they sent somebody into work, pretend, a mole. And when they knew enough about his business, they killed him. And that's the way it was. But he was looking at like, I think that's what I got the guy killed. And he had a grin on his face. And I said, whoa. And then Gary Jenkins talked to him about different police officers. He says, oh, no. He said, I wouldn't have anything to do with them. They were corrupt. And I'm thinking to myself, what were you? I mean, you got in the middle of things. If it suited you in the gambling, when you lost, you didn't pay. You owed millions of dollars. And what did you do? You went to the U.S. Attorney's office. And you make this premise that you went there out of the benevolence of your heart. It wasn't out of the benevolence of your heart. You got a notice in the mail. You were about to be indicted for income tax evasion because you were spending money like it was going out of style, money that you won gambling. And they wanted to know where it came from, and you didn't show it on your income tax. That part he never talks about. Some people are the way. I mean, I don't address certain things, but I will. If you ask me, I don't know how many Q&As I've had where I said, you know, there's a go. There, you go right there. He minimized why he flipped. I think that's a polite way of saying I got out of it. In my mind, I look at it a little bit different, Scott. What I see is he's an opportunist just like me. I'm an opportunist. Don't get me wrong, folks. And he saw this coming and he said, hey, here's a good way out. I don't have to pay back the few million that I owe. I put bad people in jail, and I keep myself out of jail. And that's what had happened. Yes, Scott, he is one of those people that I believe is rewriting history, but it's in his own mind. I think the guy's senile. Gary had to help him with names. And when he was helping him with the name, he was talking, the first name he was helping him, one of the first names he was helping him with that I took notice of was he was talking about a guy that was in the MCC. And he was in the MCC on the mobster floor. And on that mobster floor, he said there was, and he named high-ranking guys. And he said, then they found him in the bathroom with a plastic bag over his head. And Gary said, oh, you mean that was Jerry Scarpelli? And he said, I don't know if it was or not. I don't know who it was. I don't remember exactly who it was. And he said, oh, yeah, that was Jerry Scarpelli. And he said, well, it might have been. It might have been. And he goes on telling his story. And then Gary brings up, he said, there was a guy up there by the name of Red we met. And he knew this guy. And when he talked about it, he said, no, I don't think I knew him. He said, I was at Newberry Plaza. And he said, well, you know, Schweiss was at Old Town. And he says, I don't remember any Schweiss. And then later on, he says, well, I could have met him. I was in Old Town. Now, if you met Schweiss, you would know you met Schweiss. He's not the kind of guy that was, this guy was more impressed by the Ailman and Scarpelli combo. He was more impressed by that. Chain Weaver, the big announcement is 420. You know what that means, folks. But anyway, that's what it was. Ryan Brown, 1983. Didn't the judge who fixed Harry Ammon's trial? That's an interesting word. Basically, Judge Wilson had cancer. And when he got the phone call, he walked out in the backyard and didn't come back. That's the way it was. Scott, I took him with a grain of salt all the way up. I mean, all the guys I knew talked about him. Mitch Mars talked about him in Family Secrets. All those guys talked about him. He was around for a long time. How you doing, buddy? Gardo, 420. I weigh more than that. Aside from the 420 guy, I got a kick out of your comment above. I'm a know-it-all. You made me laugh. I enjoyed it. But I enjoy you folks. You make me laugh. Anyway, all in all, it was a very, very interesting interview. He seemed very confused, possibly a little dementia, maybe a lot of dementia. Gary tried to help him through. Gary must have talked to him before they went on the air. But he tried to bring him through a few things. Bring him through a few things. Yes, Ryan. And I was avoiding that word. Very much so. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're okay, Ryan. You're a good guy. Thank you. Your heart's always in the right spot. Scott H., did you notice that he said no one testified against him in Operation Great Larga. Yeah, I did notice that, and that's not even true. They were cross-examined, and they didn't have very kind things to say about him. Even Jehoda, who turned government witness, did not have nice things to say about him. There's a lot of people that didn't have a lot of nice things to say about him. At the end, towards the end, he was getting worn down a little bit, and he started to talk about his cocaine usage and some of the cases he took for free because he used to get cocaine from things like that. So he wasn't exactly the Mr. Clean that he claimed to be. And there's nothing wrong with you are who you are. I don't claim to be Mr. Clean. I did some things, and I compare myself with everything. I do. That's the way I am. But I really don't. I don't compare myself. I compare myself with him, and I say, okay, if I did something, fine. If it was wrong, it was wrong. I can live with it. I'm 76 years old. I made it this far. It's not something that, but if it isn't, I'm not going to say something that I didn't. Scott, you brought up one of the things that I was thinking about. Was he that close to Pat Marcy? He might have been in his own mind when he talked about that table at Counselor's Row. That was only for first ward people. That's true. That's a fact. But he was like maybe one of 1,000 people that was welcome to sit there. I mean, it wasn't like only for the in crowd of 8 people. The in crowd was pretty big, very big. It was something else. It seems like they were using him by holding the gambling debts over him. They did. There's no doubt in my mind. They did. I was there when it happened. You know, this happened in the 80s. And it was something else. And one of the odd things also is the name of his book, When Corruption Was King. It still is. Corruption is still king. It hasn't changed. But in his mind at the time, he was part of the old guard. And he was probably one of the other ones. Ryan Brown, waiting on the transfer paperwork. All's in order. Need a bed at the new hospital or at the other hospital. Where are you going to, guy? We're going to miss you. How about when he said he flew on the elite airline that only politicians used? That's a fact. When he wanted to get down to Springfield, he would go to Meigs Airport and jump on the plane. He had the okay. He was that high in the echelon. He was just more important in his own mind. Scott H. and myself, and I'm sure the rest of us are all praying for you, Ryan. We hope you get well soon. And I'm looking for 100% recovery on you, guy. I'm counting on it. Lehigh Clinic, 45 minutes away. Okay. Good going, guy. Anyway, he's quite a character. And I have to say, I wouldn't put him in the same class as Johnny Russo, who in my mind deliberately makes things up. I mean, he knows he's doing it. But I really think he believes all the things he says in his mind. and the importance of and I'm one of those people. He also brought up the things about family secrets when he was talking about John DeFrancio, which I've been saying for years that John DeFrancio was working with the government, and he got a pass on family secrets. And so many other foolish people on YouTube and other places has said, I'm bullshit. I don't know what to talk. I'm talking through my ass. I don't know what I'm doing. And here's a man who's clearly not got it together, but he inadvertently kind of told what I've said for years, many years. So Bill Price got the prayers out for you, Ryan. We love you, guy. You got to get well. Got to heal. So anyway, I thought there was something else that was really kind of great. Just like the interview before this one, Gary sat back and he didn't interrupt. He let his guest just talk. And I thought that was great. It was a great interview, in my opinion. I just took a little bit of difference with the man that was was there for the interview. Well, Sean Penn's little sleazy lawyer there in Carlito's Way. This guy could have been him. He could have been. He thought he was something that he really wasn't. And I remember that sleazy lawyer in Carlito's Way. Remember when he was laying in the hospital bed? And Al Pacino went in, he pulled the gun on him. He said, no, you don't do it like this. You do it like this. Well, he emptied his pistol. So when the guy did come in, he pointed at him and didn't do him any good. He killed him. But that's Hollywood. Hollywood does that to you. Entertainment. And really what we're talking about here on YouTube is entertainment. It's just, I like to entertain you folks with the truth. I don't want to give you any bullshit. I mean, you get enough of it. And there's too many people out there that want to rewrite history. They're constantly trying to rewrite it. I don't think he ever tried to rewrite history. I just think in his mind, he's a very important man. He did some things that were brave. It takes a lot of guts to wear a Niagara, a body recorder on your body, to have the wires coming up on the inside through your neck and have them on the inside of your shirt, and the actual recorder at the small of your back, and walk up to somebody and talk to them. It really takes a lot of guts. It really does. If you're caught, something bad is going to happen. I mean, at the very least, you're going to take a good beating. At the very most, you're going to be dead. And the tape is going to be taken off of you. And nobody's going to know who did it, probably. It just was what it was. Scott H., I like the way Gary gave him all the room to spin his tails. He just nudged him along once in a while. He did. Gary was good. He gave a great interview. And that's why I put the link down here. It's in the description, guys. If you go over the name, Gary Jenkins, with your mouse or your pointer, and you tap it, you'll be able to watch the 2 hours and something of the interview. But it was very interesting for me. I didn't even know the guy was alive. I really didn't. I thought, because the podcaster interview that did the podcast, which is only vocal, didn't show what he looked like, but he said it was his opinion that he wasn't going to be around very long. And I believed him when he described his deplorable conditions that he lived in. And I don't know, it's a very secretive way. One of the things that that's very important about the man is that Bob Cooley did not enter the witness protection program, according to Bob Cooley. And that's what we have in common. I didn't enter the witness protection program either. It meant no contact with anybody that you know from your previous life. And it also means you lose control of everything you want to do in your life. All of a sudden, you have U.S. Marshals telling you what you can do, what you can't do, where you go, where you can't go. And that's something that just wasn't palatable for me. Also, when I was interviewed for it, I got a kick out of the guy. He was a U.S. Marshal. And he said, I sat down. He told me to sit down. And he told me the rules of the program. And as I was listening to rules, I was going, and I kept shaking my head. And he told me, we're not real estate brokers. We don't sell your cars, but you have to get rid of anything that has a serial number on it. If it's a pistol, if it's a TV set, no matter what it is, you got to get rid of it. So when the guy told me all these things, I'm going, At the very end was the clincher. He said, look, I'm retiring in 2-3 weeks. I give a damn whether you join the program or not. And when I saw the enthusiastic way that he cared about the quality of my life, I just said, thank you very much, and walked out. But I'm sure Bob Cooley went through the same thing. Hi, Red, son of the crowd, wishing you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Kirschmeyer Jr. And where's the crowd up here? He's up here somewhere. Hi, Red. Hope you and all are doing well. Me and my family are doing great. That's great, Bill. Merry Christmas. God bless you. God bless everybody. Ryan Brown, if you say you don't know about a particular person or events, you say so, Red. That's what I love about you. You don't sit there and try and sanitize stuff for views to keep the viewers happy. I realize that I have a lot of critics, and there's some people that really don't like what I say, but I am who I am. I don't try to be somebody else. And actually, Adam Flowers from my vlog and I were talking last night, and he said, I knew from the first time I talked to you, he said, you were kind of different. But he said, and I said, well, some people thought I lied about a lot of things. And he said, yeah, but you really didn't. I said, how do you know? How do you really know? And he said, because you keep telling the same thing over and over, and liars, they lie. They tell different stories. And maybe that's what I picked up on Bob Cooley. His stories were different. Is he being mean when he's lying? I don't know. Did I ever read his book? No. I never read his book. Personally, I found the man offensive to me. And okay, what's up, Sexy Red? I can't say your whole name. IBRAHIMK alphabet 269. Hello. Scott, you're one of the last men standing. There's a lot of people standing about the outfit. don't forget we got Johnny Russo, but in Chicago we have somebody that's there. So Red's ladies have arrived many times. Hey guys, hi Red. Seems like we all have the holiday spirit, and that's great. It really is. We have the holiday spirit, and I like it. I like it. Red, were you ever proposed to be more than an associate? No. And I never wanted to be more than an associate. I only wanted to be an associate. I only wanted to go in and do my business. And I really didn't want to pay that much, but I paid whatever they asked for. And there was no proposals made. The closest I ever came to that was Jimmy Kozo asking me if I fancied his daughter, that he would like to see me marry his daughter. And I kind of freaked out at the time because I was thinking about the movie The Godfather, and I was thinking about her husband, and they got in an argument and he beat her or whatever. And she went running to her father or her brother. And I said, I brought that exact problem to him. I said, what happens if that happens? And they said, oh, we don't interfere in marriages. And I looked at his spoiled daughter, and she was spoiled. All of them were. And I said, uh-huh. And I just kind of negative my way out of that. And I believe in love. So I'm really not that big of a romantic, but I do believe in love. So I wanted somebody to be I picked. I can't read this either. Tom Maastricht saw some rush in a store. Yeah, it's still around, and I don't know who's making it. I really don't. Somebody's making it. Brad, there are well-known people that shopped at your adult store that you won't talk about. Why? Number one, there were celebrities that came in and shopped at my store. Number two, I'm not a sleazebag. What do I care? They gave me money. Why do you want to persecute them? I had to kick all these ads today. And one of them I got a kick out of earlier today. It's all these memes that came up. And this one was about Democrats or Republicans or something. But it talked about the Epstein files. And they said, why won't they release all the names of the pedophiles? And this and all the negative names that they called these people. And if you don't know their names, how do you know if they're pedophiles? How do you know if they're rapists? But you don't even know their names. And I look at those things and they're stupid. Almost as stupid as it would be to talk about people that came into my store and speculate whether they did something immoral or not immoral. Maybe they were just a customer. That's your answer. Johnny Russo also looked a bit auburn, red, headed too. Good choice, Red. I was like this a long time ago. I didn't change over the years. Was Gomer Pyle one of your customers? I don't know if he was. I never saw him, and I rarely worked the counter. I really didn't. You know, Ruhr Alex, I don't know what you're saying, translation. And whatever it is, I hope it's nice. God bless you. Have a wonderful Christmas. And if you're not a Christian, well, I'm sorry. I am a Christian. And I do believe in Christmas. And this will probably, maybe we'll have another one just before Christmas. I don't know. Johnny Russo's film wife, Connie, not marrying a mafia daughter. Yeah, that was kind of a big stupidity on his part in the movie. When I saw that in 1972, I said, oh my God. And when she said, don't kill him, don't kill him, she's talking to her brother. And he turns around and says, what am I going to do? Make that baby an orphan? James Caan. He beat him senseless. And then when I heard about him later, where he got ribs broken and everything else, because as Russo says, Jimmy didn't like me. Well, if people don't like me, I don't call him Jimmy. I don't call him on their first name. I might call him shithead. Am I happier in Florida, or do I miss the thrill of Chicago? I am very happy in Florida. I was happy when I got to Florida. I did not. I was going to stay in Florida. I came down here at Christmas week in 1987, and I decided I was staying. And I bought a house. So I didn't actually make the move until September 15th, 1988, but I bought a home and I moved down here. I moved around in Florida. Florida's a big state. There are some parts that are very different than the others. And where I live is very nice. Panama City Beach is a beautiful area. There's a lot here. There's everything here. Tourists. But what we don't have here, we don't have carjackings. We don't have parades for bad things. We have parades for veterans. We don't have, I think they had one or two Martin Luther King parades, but not many people showed up because really nobody fights up here racially. They are segregated, not Jim Crow segregated. Nobody gets upset if they see somebody out after dark or anything like that. It's a different way of life up here. It's a slower pace. And as I told Maria one time, Maria is one of my favorite people, that she owns a restaurant. I told her, I said, Maria, this place is stuck in the 50s. And she said, oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. You got it all backwards. And she said, I'll be over. She sat down at my booth. And she said, it's not stuck in the 50s. It's stuck in the 30s, maybe 40s, but it's not stuck in the 50s. But I do like that style. I really do. It's great. Brad, you said you believe in love. In case YouTube thing goes belly up, you could start a Lonely Hearts column. Probably. I do believe in love. And love is what the world's all about, man. And when you find that one woman, maybe some of us find them 2 or 3 times, but when you find that one woman, it's very important. It's important to your life. And I knew that way long ago. I knew that 60 years ago, guy. Didn't happen to me when I got older. Russo said that James Caan actually did kick his ass. Yes, he did. And that it came out that Russo actually did hit Connie during that scene. It was revenge. Okay. I knew it was real. When he was biting his hands for hanging onto the rail and he hit him with the garbage can cover, that was not in the script. But the director said, keep the camera rolling. This is good stuff. Life is funny sometimes. My father found that woman 4 to 5 times. That happens, guy. It really does. Some people, it just, some things don't last forever, and people do change. And some people don't want to work at a marriage, and some people do. Some people know when to throw in the towel and say, this is never going to work. And it's good if you find that out before you get married, before you make that commitment. But sometimes that doesn't happen. Nearing 50, Red, never found Miss Right, but a lot of Miss Right nows. We all have that problem. Even after you find Miss Right, your head may go, uh-huh. It happens. It's not that rare. And if you've got willpower, God is with you. 50 isn't so bad. But I would give you some advice. At 50, don't make any long-term commitments. It's a little late to be setting up house and deciding, live together for a while, maybe 2 years. And if you want to make that commitment, go ahead. Would I be good at a Lonely Hearts Club column? Yes, I probably would. I know how to love. So anyway, hey, Red, did Jeff Nadu ever reach out to you for an interview on YouTube? Not that I know of. The name doesn't ring a bell. At 50, forget about it. Okay. It's not time to really think of a marriage unless you've been living together. Chris Brown, I got him. Hi, bro. I got a shout out for my friend Nick Girth. Okay, shout out for Nick G-U-R-H. Gur. Is it pronounced Gur? Nick Gur? Shout out to you, buddy. Red, we need a holiday cooking live stream with you. I could tell you a story. I will tell you a story. I was talking to Adam, and I got some terrific oil for my car and a brand new oil filter. And the oil is rated at 25,000 miles. And I said, wow, that's a good deal. And I thought about actually getting down and watching me change the oil on my car. And Adam said, oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Except, folks, I don't look so good. I'm older, I'm fat, and believe me, I'm not that comfortable rolling around on the floor, much less rolling around on the cement underneath the car. So I decided, no way, it's not going to happen. It just won't happen. Would you say Chicago gangsters have more respect than New York gangsters? Depends on where you go. And it depends on the gangster, too. The ones I know are new, like Marshall Cafano. He got respect no matter where he went. If he was in New York, if he was in Miami, if he was in California, Las Vegas, wherever he went, he got respect. Why? They feared him. He was polite. He was nice, but they feared. He was one of the people to fear. In general, I can't answer that question honestly, which is say Chicago gangsters got more respect than New York gangsters. There were some Chicago gangsters that really didn't get a lot of respect. That's another thing. We're going back to Cooley here for a second, folks. Cooley was talking about being partners with Johnny DeBarco or DeArco. and he was a state senator. And he said he was part of the Rush Street crew. No, he was never part of the Rush Street crew. He used to go down and party on Rush Street. He lived at Newberry Plaza, which was on State Street, almost just over from me. And, but he was never part of that crew. He was never part of any crew. He was basically the prostitution of an attorney, because it was people from every crew and that wanted to be his friend because they wanted something from him. And he took advantage of that. He charged large fees, but he delivered what he said he was going to deliver. So that was it. Tim Peroni, did I ever meet Frank Sinatra? No. Did I ever meet Albie Vienna? Yes. Yes. I was about, it was on one of my visits into the Grand and Ogden neighborhood at nighttime. And Albie Vienna was with Philly Kozo and several other guys. I did a bedtime story about it. And when I pulled into the alley or driveway at 613 Racine, I was going to the back building, which was a garage converted into 2 apartments, a 2-flat. And the car pulled in behind me, shined the bright lights on, and they were getting out, and they had baseball bats. And I opened up the door, and Philly Kozo recognized me. And he said, "Oh, that's Red. He's okay, man." But they were there to thump me. And he told me, he said, "We like to keep the undesirables out of the neighborhood." That was my only really meeting with Albie. And I really never thought much of him. He came up to about, I can't even say it, about chest height on me. He was very small. Did not appear to be that tough. He must have ate a lot of Wheaties and did a lot of push-ups to get where he got, and weightlifting, because he wasn't like that when he was younger. Did I respect him? Not really. But then again, we never locked horns on anything. Maybe he respected me because Joey Lombardo and several other people said, "That's Red. You don't fuck with Red." So that's the way it was. City traffic and lots of short trips for you. Once a year, oil change will be fine. Yeah, it will be. It will be. Did I ever know Jimmy Iandino? No, I did not. I listened to several tapes of people that were beat up by Iandino while FBI agents watched. And I really didn't have a good opinion of him at all. Did you ever meet Charo? She was Spanish or Mexican. Yes, I remember Charo. No, I never met her. She was a celebrity. Really was. Guardia Guapo, whatever. Gotta head out, everybody. Take care. Merry Christmas, Red, Adam, and all the wee metters. God bless you. If I don't see you, I'm going to broadcast Christmas Eve. But if I don't see you, have a great Christmas. Thank you for stopping by. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. Tell us more about Florida. What do you really want to know? I came down in 1987. I did a whole video on my exodus from Chicago. You can look for it. But I came down in 1987. I liked it. When I called home, I had a car phone at that time, which was kind of rare. And when I called home, they told me it was 60 below wind chill factor. And I said, "That's it." It's 80 degrees here. People are looking at me like I'm crazy because I have the windows down and they all have their air conditioning on with the windows up. And they think I'm nuts because I have all the windows down, letting the air blow through, soaking up the wonderful weather. I stayed at the hotel. I'm trying to think of the name of it right now. It was a major line hotel. It was, they had the boathouse there. But I stayed there for about a month and I found a house. This is in Sarasota. And I bought the house, bought furniture, went home. Everything was sold and didn't tell anybody about it. I moved, got to Florida, loved it. I really did. I enjoyed it so much. But after a while, because of many different reasons, I had a whole list of them, I left and went to the other side. Several times I'd gone over in my boat. I used to cross on the river and Lake Okeechobee and come out over by Jupiter Inlet. And I went to Palm Beach and I liked it there. So I wound up moving over to Palm Beach and I liked it very much. And then things got crazy. A lot of things happened. I was involved in politics and I came up here on a deer hunting expedition and I loved it. I mean, this area is like a different, very different scene. It's laid back. It's comfortable. It's good old boys. You can call them rednecks. You can call them hillbillies. You can call them whatever you want. They're my kind of people. This is where I wanted to be all my life. So that's a little bit more about Florida. If you want to know more about Florida or what I did, look through my stories here or my YouTube channel. It'll tell you about Florida and actually what and why and when. Red, I'll be buying your book. I hope it's good to read. I hope so too. I hope you like it. And if you buy it from online from me directly, I'll autograph it to you. And if you send me a little note in an email to redweme@gmail.com, I will, that's REDWEMETTE@gmail.com. I will give you the inscription that you want. If you want it made out to Lola, if you want it made out to Bob, if you want it made out to Robert, if you want to make it out to anything, I will make it out to you. Believe me, I had some weird people say that they wanted it made out to different things. There's a guy in Kansas that told me, he said, I want you to make out to me and all your buddies in Kansas City. I said, okay, I made it out. The only thing you liked about Florida was the poker scene. Well, there's a lot more than that, including the racetracks. I love the South and I love those kind of people. It gets that way. It didn't take it long to grow on me. It really didn't. Have I ever been to Tennessee? Many times. What part of Tennessee? I was stationed in Millington, Tennessee, Memphis, NAS Memphis, when I was in the Marine Corps. That was way back. That was in 1966. But I've also been to Nashville. I've also been through a lot of small towns. I stayed with some real nice people one time because it got late at night at a grit mill in Tennessee. I have also, one of my favorite places to go is Cherokee. And I'm trying to think of the name of the other place it's right there in Tennessee. But I enjoy Tennessee. I love Tennessee. It's really nice. A little too chilly for me, though. Bill Crawley, Merry Christmas, Red. And everyone, I don't think I'll be around Wednesday. Well, Merry Christmas, Bill. Thank you so much. It's good for being there. And God bless you. Really, God bless you, buddy. Hit that like button on your way out. I need all the help I can get. George Wilson and said Red, fifth of JB Scotch whiskey. Really, if it's going to be a fifth of whiskey, and it's not going to be my regular brand, I would rather it be Dewar's than JB. But thank you anyway for the thought, George. Is there a prompt to put you? Is there a prompt to put you in Gramps mode where you can get to nonstop talking on topic and bore everybody else? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. I really don't. Bill Crawley, if I didn't have 5 kids in Fort Lauderdale, I wouldn't be in Palm Beach County. I would be up by you. Yeah, and that's a lot of problems because there's a lot of people that come up here from Palm Beach County. And if you have people that live in Davie or that area down there, I'm very familiar with that whole area, especially the Yamato bypass on I-95, that whole area going down. I used to drive back and forth to Miami. So that's where I met Lefty Rosenthal, was in Miami. All right, I'm going to get a Merry Christmas, Red, Happy Holidays, and to everyone else, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and have a wonderful Christmas, and God bless you. How old are you? It's not a weird question. No, it's about the third time I've answered it today, though. I'm 76. I was born in 1949. In 4 months, 3 months, I'll be 77. So that's the way it is. Do I miss the food in Chicago? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. How old am I? I just answered at 76. Miami, really, like Jew heaven. That's the woman said in Goodfellas. Not all of Miami's like that. And believe me, Miami Beach has changed a lot. It's really crazy. And there's a lot of nightclubs and a lot of fast everything down there. It's really good. I had a lot of fun down there. Roy Munson, how you doing over the pond over there, guy? You guys have Christmas over there. Merry Christmas. Good to see you. Very good to see you. So anyway, folks, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and sharing the story with me. Like I said, there's a link for, it's not a hyperlink, but if you put your mouse above Gary Jenkins' name below for the show, you can watch the show that I talked about. And we can see where that goes. George Wilson, when is the next sit down? Sit down. That sounds like Sam in a bowl. Sit down. With Nick Solozzi and Las Vegas Adam. Las Vegas Adam, which is Adam Flowers. Night when we spoke last night, I asked him if we're doing something this week because on the 24th, it is Christmas Eve. And he said yes. And that's Wednesday. So we'll see. When are you going to do another live? And what time are you doing the other live? I normally do all my lives, and I have for years, at 4 p.m. Chicago time. So it depends on what time you're zoned on, but it's always 4 p.m. Chicago time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time. when I do a show on Wednesday after Adam and I do Mob Vlog, which is 4 p.m. Chicago time, it's usually at 5 p.m., an hour difference. Do I watch Mickey Scars? You should. Well, thank you. You should stargaze too. Do you like looking at the stars? Go outside and get into a yard or someplace that's safe and lay down on your back and stargaze and look at the stars. All the stars in the skies. That's what you should do. Do you like me telling you what to do? I want to thank you one and all for joining me today. And if I don't see you, have a Merry Christmas. And it's Red We Met out. God bless you, folks. Bye now.
The combination of the videotapes and Ouimet's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.